Hi, this is Jason Fielder with the Daily Forex Report for July 1st. Currently looking at the US Japanese yen pair. This particular pair closed higher today, still moving sideways, biased to sideways. Looking for this pair to potentially go as high as 97.68, possibly as low as 95.46. Look for some resistance around the 97.00 level. Look for some support around the 96.34 level. Now switching to the the Euro USD, this pair closed higher today, still moving sideways, did break or go above previous resistance lines. However, it did not close above those. It did pull back. Definitely have a bias to that is going sideways currently. Look for this pair to potentially go as high as 143.02. Possibly as low as 139.09. Look for some resistance around 141.81 and look for some support around 140.83 in this particular pair. Now switching to the pound US dollar pair, this pair closed higher today after having a fairly large range. Closed just a little bit up. It is definitely still moving sideways, bias still sideways, still looking for a breakout to occur in this particular pair. I do believe, regardless of the direction of the breakout, we're going to see a very strong movement when that occurs, either to the upside or the downside. So definitely be prepared for that. Look for this pair to potentially go as high as 1.6671, possibly as low as 162.66. Look for some resistance around 166.23, possibly as low as 163.65 in this particular pair. Now, looking at the US Swiss, this pair moved lower. This pair is also moving sideways, biased to sideways. Did close lower, however. We are looking for this pair to potentially go as high as 1.0967, possibly as low as 106.25. Look for some resistance around 10795 and look for some support around 10700 in this particular pair. We had the U.S. ISM manufacturing report released for June. It was a little bit higher than expected. I'm sorry, just a hair under expectations at 44.8. No real big news there. Going into this next session, we have the European Central Bank releasing their rate decision at 7:45 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus is they're going to hold at 1%. The market should be moving sideways due to this, as well as moving sideways due to the U.S. non-farm payroll that's coming out for June at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So if you have a counter trend strategy between now and 7:40 tomorrow morning Eastern Time, this would be a great time to use a counter trend strategy to pull large amounts of pips out of the market, as the market should be going sideways. Consensus on the non-farm payroll is that unemployment has moved higher from negative 345K to negative 365K. Well, that about does it for the news announcements. What am I looking at as far as the charts go? Let's take a look at the Euro USD on the weekly time frame. Zoom out a little bit. Definitely have some key trend lines drawn, some support and resistance areas. Let's zoom in, go down to the day time frame. Gets a little bit clearer as far as where we could have potential, hit potential resistance. If you notice that this point right here lines up almost perfectly with the highs that we saw here. That's not a coincidence, and that as we come lower, some of the lows match up with some previous resistance points or support points as well. Here we had some support that hit in this particular session, this session. We've had several along the way, and there's, again, no mistake on that. If you go ahead and drop down to your hour time frame and zoom out a little bit more and draw some more trend lines, you can get a better idea of how you could possibly use this information That was a horrible trend line. Let me try again. Okay, here we go. We have some potential breakout points that you can keep an eye on. If this is, again, the 4-hour time frame, if we get a break above, this point on the hour time frame, we could very well see it go up to this point. If it dips to the downside on the 4-hour time frame, if it breaks this point or this point, look for it to continue lower to the weekly support line at support line that's the trend line that denotes support here. So either way this particular pair breaks out on the 4-hour time frame, we could definitely see it move at least 100 pips, a little over 100 pips in either direction. If you take this particular one to the downside, a short, if it reaches this one, you could definitely go to break even to protect in case we have a reversal. But if it breaks on through, we could definitely see it go down to this point fairly quick. Well, that about does it for today. Until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.